The track is clear at the skeleton start for a first of 3 forerunners. Sled track from the skeleton start. This is our first of 3 forerunners. The sled works its way down that 50-meter ramp. Thanks for the track crew for buffing out this track. Thanks for the volunteers, all the officials for making it happen here in this day after Thanksgiving. So our forerunning sleds coming through curve 6, the first of 3 forerunner sleds. It's the Women's Skeleton North American Cup Race number 3, as well as the Junior Pan Am Championships. And our first forerunner crosses the finish line. Once again, a reminder, the outrun's going to be quick.
Very fast.
Very fast. And quick. Pound sign fast. That's how we roll here at the Utah Olympic Park. It's Women's Skeleton North America's Cup, race number 3, forerunner number 2, stand by. The track is clear to skeleton start for forerunner number 2. Slim track from the skeleton start. Forerunner number 2 coming through Low Point, the Shady Thicket climbing into Uinta. Forerunner number 2 crosses the finish line. Just a reminder, once again, the outrun's quick, very quick. Attention at the start, the men's park for May is now closed. 5-minute warning for a first competitive sled for Kenny Tannenbaum, Virgin Islands. track is clear for our third and final forerunner. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Less than 5 minutes away from our first competitive sled. This is our third and final forerunner. And our third and final forerunner crosses the finish line.
Break, dude, break. Oh my god.
We're less than 2 minutes away before we start the first competitive sled. Be Katie Tannenbaum from the Virgin Islands for the Women's Skeleton North America's Cup, race number 3, as well as the Junior Pan Am Championships. Reminder, curve 12, the shades are up and open. And always a reminder for our sliders, the outrun is fast. Attention at the start. A 2-minute warning for Katie Tannenbaum, Virgin Islands. 2-minute warning for the first competitive sled. A 1-minute warning. 1-minute warning at the start for our first competitive sled. The track is clear at the skeleton start for our first competitor, Katie Tannenbaum, Virgin Islands. Sled and track from the skeleton start, our first competitive sled. Katie works her way down the 50-meter ramp, posting a push time of 5:27. These athletes are not just riding these sleds, they're driving these sleds using their shoulders and thighs. Their chin's just 2 inches off the ice. You can imagine the pressure there. They're reaching through curve 6. That's snowy. Out of 6 into 7, speed for a first competitive sled. 79.8 miles an hour. This is Katie Tannenbaum's home track. She comes out of curve 11 into the Olympic corner. Now Dinger, that's 13. Dragging that left toe, sending herself up to curve 14. Out of 14, right up the middle into Uinta. Climbing up just over 60 feet in elevation, crossing the finish line for her first competitive run with the 51.22. 51.22, 5:37 push. Hannah Rushworm, standby. Finland, standby. The track is clear for competitor number 2 at the skeleton start for Hannah Rushworm, Finland. Sudden track from the skeleton start. She works her way down the 50-meter ramp, sliding into corner number 1 with a 5:13 push time. Gracie Otto from the United States, standby at the start. Nice line out of 3. Taking that straight away out of 3 into curve 4. This is the first pressure corner. At a cutthroat, that's 5. Dragging that right toe, trying to set herself up for a left of center entrance into curve 6. Dropping out just a bit out of Mertland, that's corner 7. Dropping through the Wasatch Fault, now 11. Out of 11 into the Olympic corner. Through the Olympic corner, now Dinger. Slingshot, that's 14. Just hugging that slider's left coming into Uinta. Crossing the finish line with the 51.06. Moves her into the lead by 0.16 of a second. 51.06. Start time of 5:13. The track is clear. At the skeleton start for Grace Otto from the United States of America. Sledding track from the skeleton start. Competing in the North America's Cup. Just recently got the push time, the requirement for her to be able to compete in these North American Cup competitions. Also her home track for Gracie Otto. She's back by 0.39 of a second. Her start time was a 5:36. Sliding for Malta, Shannon Galea, please stand by at the start. Gracie's coming into a curve 11, back by 0.47 of a second. Speed 79.1 miles an hour, coming through curve 6. Through curve 13 and 14, still back by just under half a second. Brushing sliders left, coming out of 14 into curve 15, crossing the finish line for her first run over the 51.48, 5:35 push time. Gracie Otto, 51.48, 5:35 push. The track is clear at the skeleton start. Sliding for Malta, Shannon Galea. Sudden track from the skeleton start. Laura Vargas from Colombia, please stand by. There's no rule that says when the athletes must load their sleds, so they're pushing in a variety of low distances down that 50-meter ramp. Your top sliders will be in the low 5-second push time. That's free time, so the idea is to gain as much speed, as much momentum as they slide into corner number 1. The sport of skeleton is measured to the 100th of a second, where luge is measured to the thousandths of a second. She's back by 56 hundredths of a second. Her push time was a 5.28 coming into the Olympic corner. Back end of that sled breaking free just a bit coming into 13. Back by 6, almost 7/10 of a second, brushing the sliders right and left coming into Uinta. Sliding underneath the arch for her first of 2 runs with the 51.81. 51.81, that's the 4th competitive sled in this field of 19. The track is cleared. The skeleton start for competitor number 6, Laura Vargas, sliding for Colombia. Sliding track from the skeleton start. Come on, folks. Let's encourage these athletes as they push their sleds down that 50-meter ramp. A deep entrance into curve 1. Brushing sliders right out of the exit of curve 1 into curve 2. That's going to cost her momentum or speed. She's back by 5. Now it's going to be 6/10 of a second. Quickest time so far down this Olympic track is a 51.06 for the 5:13 push time. Her push time was a 5:39, so she's given up 2/10 of a second before she slides into corner 1. 79.6 miles an hour through curve 6. Now sliding out of 11 into curve 12. Nice transition out of 11 into 12. 12:13 is smooth. Slingshot, that's 14. Right up the middle through the shady thicket. Underneath the arch. 51.61. 51.61 finish time as she comes up that long outrun. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Nicole Berger, Republic of South Africa. Sliding track from the skeleton start, Lisa Baker, standby from United States of America. Push time for Nicole. A 5:01, that's the quickest push we've seen so far. She's currently in the lead by 21 hundredths of a second. Coming through Cutthroat, right down the middle, nice early entrance into curve 6. That's the heavy pressure corner where the chin is so close to the ice. She's still in the lead by 3/10 of a second, sliding through the labyrinth corners. Now approaching curve 11, she's still in the lead. Now she's pulled ahead by 41. Now it's a half a second lead. Out of curve 12, dingers 13 into 14. She's still in the lead by 56 hundredths of a second. Her speed, 81 miles an hour. That's the fastest sled we've seen. We've also had the fastest push. She crosses the finish line, 50.17. 50.17, we have a new leader by 89 hundredths of a second. 81 miles an hour. It all started with that beautiful push of a 5:01. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Lisa Baker. So then track from the skeleton start, sliding for United States of America on our home track, Liesl Baker. Push time of 5:19, a very good push for Liesl. Please stand by at the skeleton start, Ana Torres Quevedo from Spain. Liesl's back by 0.4 of a second. She's got to be upwards of 80 miles an hour through curve 6 if she wants to close that gap. She's still back by 0.38 of a second. Speed is 80.7. Good speed coming out of curve 11. Beautiful line through 10, now 11, through the exit of 11 into curve 12. She's only back by 0.43 of a second. Now it's 0.44 of a second. Beautiful transition, 13-14. Just hugging sliders left, coming up that straightaway through the shady thicket. Second place, 50.59, 50.59. A beautiful push, though, for Liesl Baker from the United States of America. A 5:19 push, 5:19 push. Good speed at 80.7 miles an hour. Puts her unofficial in the number 2 spot, back by 0.43 of a second. Liesl Baker. The track is clear. The skeleton start for Ana Torres Quevedo from Spain.
From the skeleton start.
Sliding track from the skeleton start. Sliding for Spain, Ana works her way down that 50-meter ramp with the 5:46 push time. Giving up nearly 0.4 of a second. At the top of the hill, the track is 1,334 meters long, about 0.8 of a mile. The top sleds will be achieving 80+ miles an hour. If you're looking for a good viewing location, curve 12, the shades are up and open. So if you're walking over the pedestrian bridge, work your way either to the sliders right or left. Work your way up the hill. Curve 12, the shades are up and open. Sliding for Spain right now on the track is Ana Hong Sujong from Korea. Please stand by. She crosses the finish line. 52.49 puts her in the 8th spot. The track is cleared to skeleton start for Hong Sujong from Korea. Sudden track from the skeleton start. The first of 2 Korean athletes is on the ice, posting a push time of 5:09. 5:09. A strong push. She's sliding out of 3 into curve 4. Out of 5, cutthroat, brushing sliders left out of 5, which means she got off a little late, or correction, a little early, and she hit that sliders left. Brushing those short walls, we call them, as she works her way down the track. A deep entrance into curve 11. Let's watch the exit of a curve 11. A little early into curve 12. These are all mistakes going to cost her dearly with her finish time. Out of 13 into curve 14. She's behind by just over a second. Brushing sliders left coming into Uinta. That's our finish curve. And underneath, the delicate arch. Crossing the finish line with the 51.51. 51. 51.51 puts her on officially in the 6th spot. Please stand by at the start. Kelly Delca, Puerto Rico, please stand by. The track is clear. Skeleton start for Kelly Delca, Puerto Rico. Southern track from the skeleton start. Sliding for Puerto Rico, Kelly Delca with a 5:26 push time. Please stand by at the start. Sliding for Canada, Emily Bateman. Kelly Delca with a push time of 5:26. She's back by just over a half a second. She's been down this track hundreds of times. And you can see she's coming out of curve 6, 7, now 8 and 9. Still back by 0.6 of a second. Beautiful line coming into curve 11. Out of 11 into curve 12. Here she comes through the Olympic corner. This is the corner where we had the Salt Lake City 2002 Olympic logo incorporated in the ice during the 19th Winter Olympic Games. This is the same track we'll be using for the 2034 Games. Just under 3,000 days away. Kelly Delca comes up the outrun with the finish time of 51.00. Puts her unofficially in the third spot. Third spot with the 51.00. The track is clear at the skeleton start for the first of the Canadian sleds, Emily Bateman. Sliding track from the skeleton start, Emily Bateman, sliding for Team Canada. She'll also be competing in the Junior Pan Am Championships. Quick right toe tap going into curve 4. Out of 5, right down the middle into curve 6. 6 and 7, laid out of 7, sliding over and hitting that slider's left between curve 7 and 8. Albert's Alley. Out of 11, approaching the Olympic corner, dropping out of 11. So she missed that second drive, causing that sled to climb up at the exit, dropping out late and crossing over through the Olympic corner. Crossing the finish line with the 51.73 for Emily Bateman, sliding for Team Canada, back by 1.56 seconds, puts her unofficially in the 9th spot. The track is clear at the skeleton start. For our next slider representing Team Canada, Julia Hamilton. Sliding track from the skeleton start. Julia down the 50-meter ramp with the 5.50 push time. Madeline Para from Canada, please stand by. Brushing sliders left, which is a deep entrance into curve 4. That's going to cost her some valuable time. She's back by just over a second, coming out of curve 6, now approaching curve 7. Unfortunately, the track in Calgary, the site to the 1988 Winter Olympic Games, is no longer in operation. These athletes have all been to Whistler. I should say nearly all of them have been to Whistler, which was the site of the 2010 Olympic Winter Games. Whistler is the fastest track in the world. This particular track here in Park City, Utah, is one of the fastest in the world. Not quite as quick as they have up there in Whistler, as she struggles a bit coming out of curve 14 into curve 15. Finish times at 52.95 for Julia Hamilton. The track is clear. The skeleton start from Madeline Para from Canada. Southern track from the skeleton start. She slides down that 50-meter ramp coming into corner number 1. The fastest push we've seen is at 5:01 from Nicole Berger from the Republic of South Africa. She is our current leader with that 50.17 downtime. That's a commanding lead by several tenths of a second. Madeline sliding for Team Canada. 5:53 push time. A little late out of 7, crossing her over into curve 8. There's 2 tracks in the States here in upstate New York, Lake Placid, which hosted the World Championships of Bobsled and Skeleton several months ago. Roughly 14, 15 tracks in Europe. Still an active track, needless to say, in Whistler, the site of the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. As Madeline comes up and crosses the finish line for her first of 2 runs with the 54.11. Puts her unofficially in the 13th spot. The track is cleared to skeleton start for Emily Maria McDonald, sliding for Spain. Sliding track from the skeleton start. Lani Huki from the United States of America, please stand by. Emily Maria McDonald, sliding for Spain, the second slider representing Team Spain. Struggling just a bit through 2, 3, and 4. Her push time was a 5:44, back by 1 second, 71 hundredths. It's ever so important for these athletes to keep those shoulders flat on the sled. By lifting up too high, it changes the balance point. Makes it very difficult to drive these sleds. They steer the sleds with their shoulders and thighs. You'll see them periodically tapping their toes on the ice, setting themselves up for the next corner as that sled breaks free just a bit coming out of curve 14. Now curve 15, she'll cross the finish line with the 55.24. 55.24, speed 74.8 miles an hour. She comes up the outrun. No brakes on these sleds, no brakes, so they use memory foam pads to scrub off the speed up the outrun. The track is clear. At the skeleton start, sliding for the United States of America, Lani Huki. Sliding track from the skeleton start. Logan Rudy, please stand by. Lani takes to the track with the 5.30 push time. Time to move into the top 5, which would be 51.06. 51.06 is going to move her into the top 5, but she's back by 78 hundredths of a second. Now it's 76 hundredths of a second. Out of curve 6 into curve 7. Speed to the exit of curve 7 is 78.2 miles an hour. Beautiful transition down the Wasatch Fault, the straightaway between curve 10 and 11. Coming through the Olympic corner. Out of the Olympic corner, now curve 13, Dinger. Coming into slingshot, dragging that left toe, trying to set herself up for a left to center entrance. Bumping once, twice. As she comes up into Uinta and across the finish line for her first run with the 52.89. 2.73 seconds behind your current leader. Top speed, 78.2 miles an hour. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Logan Rudy from the United States of America. Sun and track from the skeleton start. Please stand by at the start. Sliding for Team Canada, Indy Dorshid. Out of 1 into 2. Deep entrance into curve 3. Out of 4. 5 coming into curve 6. Back by 0.8 of a second. Speed to the exit of curve 6 before approaching the labyrinth is 80 miles an hour. She's got good speed. Can she be quicker than a 51.06 to move into the top 5? She's back by 96 of a second coming out of curve 11. Late entrance causing her to strike. Sliders left going into 12. Struggling a little bit through that 11, 12, 12, 13 transition. That's going to cost her a half a second or more as she comes up to curve 15. Back by 1.5 seconds. 51.70, 51.70. Unofficially putting in the 9th position. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Indy Dorshid from Canada. So on track for the skeleton start, Kim Yerin from Korea. Please stand by. Push time for Indy down that 50-meter ramp of 5.540. Struggling up top through the exit of 1 into 2. Regaining her composure, she's coming out of 3 into curve 4. This is not the most technical or difficult track on the circuit. It is so important to have the momentum, the speed through the first several corners. You need to be quicker than 80 miles an hour if you want to slip into the top 5. She's sliding through curve 11, now into 12. As that chin gets pushed down towards the ice of the Olympic corner. Back at the sled, breaking free, coming to curve 14. Through the shady thicket. Climbing into Uinta and across the finish line with the 53.58. 53.58. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Kim Yerim from Korea. So the track for the skeleton start. Push time for Kim, 5:29. Grace Defoe, please stand by. Sliding for Team Canada. Half a second behind your leader, sliding into curve 4. Now to 5. Can she break the 80 mile an hour mark? It's going to be like 78 or 79. It's 78.6. For her to slip into the top 10, she needs to be quicker than a 51.73 to slip into the top 10. Out of curve 11, early entrance into 12s. Now 13, 14. 1.35 seconds behind your current leader. Back end of the sled, breaking free nearly all the way up through the shady thicket. That's going to drop her a few spots, puts her unofficial in the 12th spot with a finish time at 52.20. 52.20, one more sled to complete run number 1 for the Women's Skeleton North America's Cup, race number 3 in Park City, Utah. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Grace Defoe, sliding for Team Canada. Sled and track from the skeleton start. A 10-minute warning at the start for the men's first competitive sled. This is the final sled for run number 1 for the Women's Skeleton North America's Cup, race number 3. Also the Junior Pan American Championships here in this season of 2025-26. Grace sliding for Team Canada with the 5.23 push time. Good speed of 80.6 miles an hour. Good speed. Can she get into the top 5? For her to be quicker than Katie Tannenbaum, who's currently unofficially in the 5th spot, she needs to be quicker than a 51.22. 51.22. She's back by 58 hundredths of a second. She's coming out of curve 14. Oh, the back end of the sled broke free a bit. That's going to cost her a tenth or two. She comes up underneath the delicate arch. Slipping in unofficially to the 3rd spot with a 50.88. Great speed out of curve 6. She was able to carry that momentum through the final corners. As a result of that, slips into the top 3. So unofficially, it's Nicole Berger from the Republic of South Africa as your unofficial leader after run number 1 with the 50.17. Liesl Baker from the United States sits unofficially in the 2nd spot with the 50.59. And that final sled you saw for heat number 1, Grace Defoe, sliding for Team Canada, is unofficially in your 3rd spot with a 50.88, posting beautiful speed through curve 6 at 80.6 miles an hour. Those are unofficial top 3. We will have one forerunner as we lead into the men's first competitive run. That completes run number 1. The beauty of this event here at the Utah Olympic Park is you're going to have several announcers. My teammate, the great Terry Talbot, will be calling the shots here for the men's first heat. Thanks to the track crew for buffing out the track. On Wednesday, we sent over 200 sleds down the track. Unfortunately, there's no Zamboni to buff out the track like they have at the Utah Olympic Oval, which, by the way, had 3 world records in the International Skating Union World Cup. That was the first World Cup, and the teams and the athletes headed on up to the site of the 88 Winter Olympic Games up in Calgary for their World Cup stop number 2. Even though that venue has been in use since 1998. They set 3 world records 2 weekends ago at the Utah Olympic Oval. They'll be using that facility for the 2034 games. The phone's ringing. I gotta go. So we're less than 10 minutes away from our first forerunner. We have only one forerunner for the men's competition. Good luck to all the sliders. Just a reminder for the men, the outrun is quick. The outrun is quick. That completes run number 1 for the Women's Skeleton North America's Cup, Race 3, and the Junior Pan Am Championships here at the Utah Olympic Park. Stand by for Terry Talbot.
Two-minute warning to our first and only forerunner sled. 2-minute warning.
5-minute warning, approximate 5-minute warning to the first competitive sled. 5-minute warning. Track's now clear for our first and only forerunner. Sled and track for our first and only forerunner. And the forerunner has crossed the finish line. Two-minute warning, approximate 2-minute warning to Adrian Rodriguez from Spain. Attention, guests over at the women's start, do not stand on the ice. One-minute warning to Adrian Rodriguez from Spain. Track's now clear for Adrian Rodriguez from Spain. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Yao Chanhook, stand by from Korea. In the track, we have Adrian Rodriguez. Start time, 4.76 seconds as he comes down into curve 3 and curve 4. He is going to be looking to set a high bar this afternoon as he now goes into curve 5, now 6, Snowy. Coming down through curve 7, top speed 80.9 miles an hour as he goes right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Now into 12, 13, going into 14 slingshot into the shady thicket, maintaining a speed of 76.6 miles an hour as he comes up through the finish line with a downtime of 49.94 seconds. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Yao Chan-hook from Korea. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Shin Yen Sao from Korea. Stand by, please. In the track, we have Yao Chan-hook. Start time, 4.73 seconds. Today we have multiple races. We do have the North Americans Cups, women and men. We also have the Junior Pan Am Championships. We have the under 26, under 23, and under 20. Yao Chan-hook is in the under 23 division. He had a top speed of 80.3 miles an hour as he now heads into curve 11. He is currently 13 hundredths behind the pace as he comes down through Dinger into Slingshot. Top speed out of Slingshot, he's maintained a 78.9 miles an hour. He's actually overtaken the lead and has gotten a downtime of 49.77 seconds. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Shin Yansu. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Lin Wei Peng from Chinese Taipei. Stand by, please. Our second Korean slider, Shin Yansu, has a start time of 4.84 seconds as he goes into Sunny, which is curve 4, into Cutthroat. He's currently 12 hundredths behind the pace as he now goes through Snowy curve 6, our high pressure curve. Top speed out of 7, 82.2 miles an hour, our fastest sled so far. Brushing sliders right as he goes into curve 11. Is going to slow him down a little bit. Going early into 12. Gets it under control, though. A little high exit, but okay. Now down through Slingshot. He's still 13 hundredths. Only 4 hundredths ahead of the pace. As he hits left and right, it's going to slow him down. Will he maintain it? He doesn't. He's 15 hundredths behind the pace as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 49.92 seconds. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Lin Wei Peng. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Sebastian Rainier from Canada, stand by please. In the track, sliding for Chinese Taipei, we have Lin Wei Peng, start time, 4.81 seconds. And welcome guests to the Utah Olympic Park. We currently have a sled in the track here on race day. We're in the men's North America's Cup Heat 1. We just have some rules over here on trackside. There's no standing, leaning, sitting on the fences, or poking our heads underneath the shades around the track. There's no throwing of objects at or around the track, including snowballs. All the buildings and grates along the track are for coaches and athletes and only. And at no time enter that track surface. These rules are for your safety as well as the safety of our athletes. Enjoy your time here at the Utah Olympic Park. Lin Wei Peng crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.85 seconds. Currently in second place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Sebastian Rainier. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Ryan Kuhn, stand by please. In the track sledding for Canada, we have Sebastian Rainier. He is the first of 6 Canadian men we have sliding here today at the Utah Olympic Park. Start time, 4.84 seconds as he now goes through Cutthroat into Snowy. He is currently a 10th behind the pace as he comes down through 7. Top speed, 80.6 miles an hour. Not quite as much speed as he's going to need. He's going to have to find some in this lower half of the track as he now comes through 11 into 12. Falling a little bit further behind. He's now 25 hundredths behind the pace as he exits 13 into Slingshot. Going through the shady thicket with a top speed of 74.3 miles an hour. Crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.50 seconds. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Ryan Kuhn. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Jared Firestone from Israel, stand by please. In the track sledding for Canada, we have Ryan Kuhn. Start time, 4.68 seconds, our fastest start time so far today. He is currently 9 hundredths ahead of the pace as he now comes through Sunny into Cutthroat, which is curve 5. Little brush sliders right as he goes into 6. Little skid into 7. Top speed, 80.8 miles an hour. Those little mistakes up top kind of sap your speed really quick. He's now still 25 hundredths ahead of the pace as he now comes through 12 into 13. Going into Slingshot. Top speed out of there, 77.9 miles an hour. Up through Uinta, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.59 seconds. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Jared Firestone. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Joseph Brusik from Canada, stand by please. In the track sliding for Israel, we have Jared Firestone. Start time, 4.79 seconds as he now comes down into curve 3. Hugging that sliders right through the 3-4 straightaway into Sunny. He's currently 18 hundredths behind the pace as he now goes into that first high pressure curve, curve 6. Exiting curve 7, top speed 81.6 miles an hour, heading through those labyrinth curves. The labyrinth, a series of left and right curves that every track in the world has. Now as he now comes through the Olympic corner, he's now 300ths ahead of the pace as he drops that toe through the 13-14 straightaway. Hitting sliders right, that's going to cost him a little bit, but will he hold on? He does. Downtime 49.46 seconds, and your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Joseph Brusick. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Lucas Defiet from France, stand by please. In the track we have Joseph Brusick of Canada. Start time 4.75 seconds as he now heads into curve 4, Sunny. Now cutthroat. He's currently 400ths ahead of that pace as he heads into curve 6, now 7. Top speed 81.5 miles an hour heading down through those labyrinth curves. Still 400ths ahead of the pace. Coming now through curve 11. Nice line out of 11 and 12. Now it's dead tie right now as he goes through the 13-14. He's need to get some speed going through Slingshot as he now comes up. Will he maintain it as he crosses that finish line? He doesn't. Downtime 49.59 seconds. Currently second place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Lucas Defiet. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Xander Greco, stand by please. Sliding for France, we have Lucas Defiet. Start time 4.80 seconds as he now comes into curve 3 and 4. He's currently 100th ahead of that pace as he now comes down, right down the 5-6 straightaway into 6. Top speed at a curve 7, 81.7 miles an hour. He's going to need to carry this down to get a good place as he now comes through those labyrinth curves, dropping that toe as he now comes through curve 11 into 12. Nice line into 12 and 13. 300ths behind the pace as he goes through Slingshot into the shady thicket. Top speed 78.7 miles an hour. Up through the finish arch with a downtime of 49.46 seconds. Tied for first place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Xander Greco. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Jonathan Yah from Malaysia, stand by please. In the track, we got Xander Greco. Start time 4.73 seconds. Xander Greco is also participating in the Junior Pan Am Championships under 20 division. He brushes sliders left as he goes into curve 5 and curve 6. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. He's 800ths behind the pace as he comes through curve 7. Top speed, 79.4 miles an hour. Not quite as fast as some of ours. Hitting right before curve 11. Sends him high out of the exit 11, dropping out. Legs flailing all over the place as he goes now down through 12 and 13. Hitting left and then right, going through the shady thicket, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.91 seconds. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Jonathan Yah. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Hiroyatsu Takahashi from Japan, stand by please. In the track we have Jonathan Yah, start time 4.83 seconds. As he comes through curve 3, he's 400ths behind the pace as he now comes through. Snowy dropping a toe in the middle of the corner as he now comes through curve 6 into 7, top speed. 82 miles an hour going through those labyrinth curves. Still right around 100th behind the pace. He's going to need to get some speed going through this lower half of the track. At a 12 into 13, dropping a toe, still 100th behind the pace as he now goes through slingshot into the shady thicket. Almost touching sliders left, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.73 seconds. Currently in 5th place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Hiroyatsu Takahashi. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Kevin Hang Lee from Chinese Taipei, stand by please. In the track sliding for Japan, we have Hiroyatsu Takahashi. Start time, 4.72 seconds as he now comes right down the middle of that 3-4 straightaway. He's currently 1,500ths ahead of the pace as he goes into curve 6. Nice line out of 6 and 7. Top speed, 81.7 miles an hour. Not quite as fast, but he's still holding on to about a 1,500th lead as he now goes through curve 11. Little late at 11, dropping out. Doesn't seem to affect him. He's now 1,300ths, just a little bit, as he now comes through slingshot. 900ths. Will he be able to keep this as he comes up through Uinta, crossing the finish line? He does. Downtime, 49.44, 200ths ahead of the pace as he crosses that finish line and takes over the top position at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Kevin Hang Lee. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Tato Nagao from Japan, stand by please. In the track we have Kevin Hang Lee sliding for Chinese Taipei. Start time 4.91 seconds. Jonathan is currently 3,500 behind the pace as he goes through Sunny into Cutthroat, curve 5. Hitting slightly right before going into curve 6. Dropping behind the pace as he hits out of 7-8. Top speed, 79.5 miles an hour. He's going to need to pick up some speed going through the lower half of this track if he wants to place in that top 6, as he has into 12, 13, now into Slingshot 14. Top speed out of 14, 73.8 miles an hour. Dropping that toe. Coming up through the finish line with a downtime of 50.72 seconds. Currently 12th at this time. Track's now clear for Tato Nagano at the skeleton start. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Hayato Kawano from Japan, stand by please. In the track we have Tato Nagao, start time 4.78 seconds. Tato's the second of 3 Japanese sliders we have today here at the Utah Olympic Park. Tato is now 1,500 behind the pace as he now goes into curve 6, now 7. Top speed 81.9 miles an hour as he heads down through those labyrinth curves, right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway into 11. He's now 1,300 behind the pace. Coming out of 12 into 13, a little skid there out of 12 is going to cost him a little bit of time. Going through Slingshot, hitting sliders right, coming out of 14, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.67 seconds. Currently 6th place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Hayato Kawano. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Eduardo Strapason from Brazil, stand by please. In the track, we have Hayato Kawano, start time 4.79 seconds. Hayato is our last Japanese slider for Heat 1. And he's currently 1,400 behind that pace as he now goes through Cutthroat into Snowy. Dropping those toes a little bit as he went in there. Top speed out of 7. 81.7 miles an hour as he now goes through curve 11. Shout out to the track crew for this fast track today. Everybody's pulling out some impressive speeds after sending over 200 sleds on Wednesday. Hayato Kawano crossing that finish line. Downtime 50.02 seconds. Currently 12th place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Eduardo Strapason. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Nicholas Timmings from Australia, stand by please. In the track we have Eduardo Strapacin, start time 4.89 seconds. Eduardo's another one of our young athletes competing in the Junior Pan Am under 20 division. Eduardo Strapacin coming now into Snowy. He's currently 38 hundredths behind the pace as he comes through curve 7 with a top speed of 81.4 miles an hour. Right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Vaughn is still right there around 4/10 behind the pace as he now comes through 13, hitting hard right before slingshot. 14, hugging sliders right as he now goes up through the Uinta, crossing the finish line with a downtime of 49.69 seconds. Currently 7th place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Nicholas Timmings. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Oren Milstein from Israel, stand by please. In the track sledding for Australia, we have Nicholas Timmings, start time 4.76 seconds as he now heads into curve 3. He is 11 hundredths behind the pace as he now comes through Sunny into cutthroat, hitting sliders left as he now goes into Snowy curve 6. Coming out of 7, top speed, 81.4 miles an hour, going through those labyrinth curves. Right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway, he's 19 hundredths behind the pace. Needs to pick up some speed here in that lower half of the track as he comes down through 13 into slingshot. Top speed through the shady thicket was 79.3 miles an hour, overtaking that top spot with a downtime of 49.38 seconds. He found the speed in the lower half of the track. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Oren Milstein. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Oren Milstein from Israel, stand by please.
That's who's in the track.
Oh, Peter McCready's from Australia, stand by please. In the track we have Oren Milstein from Israel, start time 5.00 seconds as he now comes into Sunny, which is our curve 4. He's currently 47 hundredths behind the pace as he now goes into Snowy curve 6. Top speed out of 7. 79.4 miles an hour. Not quite as fast as some of our top athletes here. Hitting sliders right, going through the 10-11 straightaway. Sends them high into 11, dropping out, smashing into 11-12 straightaway. Gets it under control now as he now comes through slingshot. Hugging that sliders right, going up through the finish line. Downtime, 51.24 seconds. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Peter McCready's. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Kwasi Frimpong from Ghana, stand by please. Our second slider from Australia, Peter McCready's start time 4.85 seconds as he now goes through the 3-4 straightaway. He's currently 11 hundredths behind the pace. Going now into cutthroat, dropping that toe right before Snowy. Nice line out of 6 into 7. Top speed, 81 miles an hour. He's now 17 hundredths behind the pace as he enters curve 11. He's going to need to pick up some speed here through this lower half of the track. At a 13, now into 14. Crossing the finish line with a downtime of 50 seconds flat, putting him in 14th position at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Quasi Frimpong. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Andrew Pitobisky from Canada, stand by please. And attention, guests at the exit of curve 13, do not get on the start wall or poke your heads underneath those shades there. Thank you. Quasi Frimpong, start time 4.80 seconds as he now heads into curve 6, now 7, top speed 80.3 miles an hour going through those labyrinth curves. He's currently 6 hundredths behind the pace, hugging that slider's right going into curve 11. Need to pick up a little bit of speed here going through the lower half. He's now 3/10 behind the pace as he heads into slingshot with a top speed out of 14, 76.1 miles an hour. Crossing that finish arch with a downtime of 50.26 seconds, currently 16th at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Andrew Pitobisky. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Noah Park, stand by please. In the track sledding for Canada, we have Andrew Pitobisky. He is also competing in the Pan Am Championships under 23 division. Andrew Pitobisky had a start time of 4.91 seconds as he now comes through cutthroat into Snowy, dropping that toe just a little bit. He's currently 83 hundredths behind the pace. Top speed, 77.2 miles an hour. Nice line in the 10-11 straightaway. Little high coming out of 11, drops him, puts him early into 12, hitting. Same out of 13. Coming now down through slingshot. Holding that line, not touching any walls as he crosses that finish arch. Downtime, 51.90 seconds. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Noah Park. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Massimo Artizzoni from Canada, stand by please. In the track we have Noah Park, start time 5.06 seconds. Noah Park, along with his twin brother Baden Park, will be sliding here with the Pan Am Championships under 23 division. Not only do they have a little bit of trying to place high here in the races, they also have a little bit of competition among each other. As Noah Park comes down through the labyrinth curves, top speed 80.3 miles an hour as he now exits curve 11 into 12-13. Nice line into 14. Coming through slingshot with a top speed of 77 miles an hour. Hitting sliders right at the end of the shady thicket, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.71 seconds, and currently 18th at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Massimo Artizzoni. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Jeff Bauer, stand by please. In the track, we have Massimo Artizzoni, our last slider from Canada. He's also in the Pan Am Championship under 20 division. Start time, 4.71 seconds, one of our faster start times today. Massimo going into curve 6, now into curve 7, top speed 79.2 miles an hour, heading through those labyrinth curves, dropping a toe, going into the 10-11 straightaway. Little high, puts him into sliders left, going into 12. Keeps dropping toes, going to cost him a little bit of time every time he drops that toe going through that corner. Hitting sliders right, then left, going through the shady thicket. Downtime 51.81 seconds, currently 22nd at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Jeff Bauer. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Tyler Maddle, stand by please. Sliding for Luxembourg, we have Jeff Bauer. Start time 5.23 seconds. A little slower on the start, but if you have a nice clean run, you'll pick up a lot of that time as he now comes through. Snowy into Cutthroat, now into curve 6. Top speed out of 7, 80.1 miles an hour as he heads through those labyrinth curves. Right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good lines at 11 into 12. Now into 13, into slingshot. See if it gives them a little bit of a speed boost through here. Hitting sliders right, going through that shady thicket. Crossing the finish arch with a downtime of 50.97 seconds. Currently 21st at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Tyler Maddle. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Song Young Min from Korea, stand by please. In the track we have Tyler Maddle, or for the first 2 years of his sliding career, we had called him Tyler Madel before we found out his real name. Start time, 4.89 seconds as he now comes through Sunny into Cutthroat. He's currently 2/10 behind of the pace as he goes through curve 6 into 7, top speed 80.6 miles an hour, heading into 8, 9, now 10. Good line out of 10 into 11. Little high at 11, has him to drop his toe to get it under control as he now comes through 13 into Slingshot, now going through the shady thicket with a top speed of 76.1 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.51 seconds, 18th place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Song Young Min. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Sam Allred from the United States of America, stand by please. In the track we have Song Young Min from Korea. Start time, 4.72 seconds as he now comes down into curve 3. Song Young Min is the third Korean slider we have here today for the men's division of the North America's Cup, as he now comes through curve 6 into 7, top speed 81.3 miles an hour heading through the labyrinth curves. He's currently 400ths ahead of the pace as he heads into curve 11. A little high at 11 sends him early into 12. That might cost him a little time. He's now 400ths behind the pace as he goes down through Slingshot, hitting right, left, then right again, coming up through the finish line. Downtime, 50.01 second. Currently 15th at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Sam Allred. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Cauê Gonçalves from Brazil, stand by please. In the track sliding for the United States of America, we have Sam Allred. Start time, 4.80 seconds. Sam is one of 5 United States athletes that are competing here today in the North America's Cup as he now comes through curve 6 into 7, top speed 80.6 miles an hour going through those labyrinth curves. Nice line into 11. He's currently 2/10 behind the pace as he comes dropping that toe, getting that sled a little sideways as he now goes into 13, now Slingshot 14. Lost some speed going through 12, 13, 14 as he hits going up into Uinta, crossing that finish line. Downtime, 50.63 seconds, currently 20th place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Cauê Gonçalves. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Baden Park Stand by, please. In the track, sliding for Brazil, we have Cauê Gonçalves. Start time, 5.08 seconds. Cauê Gonçalves is our second Brazilian athlete we have here today at the Utah Olympic Park. He is also competing in the Junior Pan Am Championships in the 23 and under, hitting sliders left. The sled he's went over, but he got back onto the sled now as he goes through those labyrinth curves.
Back on the sled.
As he brushes slightly riders left. One of those things, if you can hold on to that sled and get back on, you can continue your run, and that's what he did. As he came out of 5, he got right back on that sled. As he now comes through slingshot, hitting sliders left, dropping the toe, coming up through the finish line with a downtime of 56.30 seconds. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Baden Park. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Andy Chilino, stand by please. In the track, sliding for the United States of America, we have Baden Park, the second Park brother sliding today. The Park brothers are twins, and they are both sliding in the Pan Am Championships under 23. Baden Park had a start time of 4.93 seconds, and as he comes down into curve 6, now 7, top speed, 81.1 miles an hour, going through those labyrinth curves. He's currently 3/10 behind the pace, heading into curve 11, now 12. Dropping a little bit. It's now 4/10 behind the pace as he heads into slingshot. Top speed out of slingshot, 77.1 miles an hour. He comes up through Uinta, crossing that finish arch with a downtime of 50.15 seconds, and currently 17th place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Andy Chilino. Sled and track from the skeleton start. RJ10, stand by please. In the track, sliding for the United States of America, we have Andy Chilino. Start time, 4.67 seconds, tied for our fastest start time today. Andy Chilino is also competing in the Junior Pan Am Championships under 23 division as he now comes into curve 6, now into 7, top speed, 78.6 miles an hour. Dropping that toe going into curve 9. It's going to cost him, hitting sliders left right before curve 11. A little high at 11, puts him early into 12. He has it under control, though, as he now comes down through 12, 13, into slingshot. Getting a little skidding, hitting sliders left. Coming up through the finish line with a downtime of 51.25 seconds. Currently 27th at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for RJ10. Sled and track from the skeleton start. David Morales from Mexico, stand by please. In the track, our final slider for the United States of America, we have RJ10, start time 4.63 seconds, our fastest start time today, as he now comes through Sunny into Cutthroat. He's currently 2/10 ahead of that pace as he comes down through Snowy into 7, top speed 81.5 miles an hour. Not quite as fast, but he's still holding on to that 2/10 as he hits right before curve 11. Sends him high and then puts him hard into sliders left out of 12. He's now only 1/100th ahead of the pace as he comes through Slingshot. Now 3/10 behind the pace as he comes up through the finish line with a downtime of 50.22 seconds, putting him in 18th place at this time with 1 slider remaining. Track's now clear at skeleton start for David Morales. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Our final slider here for the North America's Cup Men's Skeleton Heat 1. We have David Morales from Mexico. Start time 6.43 seconds. A little struggling a little bit there with this upper half of the track. Hitting at a curve 1, 2, and 3. Nice line out of 5 into 6. Hitting hard out of 6. Puts him high out of 7 into sliders left. Going into 8. Top speed 71.6 miles an hour. A little bump left then right. Puts him in late into curve 11. Hitting left out of 12, making sure no short wall goes untouched here today at the Utah Olympic Park as he now goes into Slingshot. Hitting left, then right, and then right again, and crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1 minute, 0.18 seconds. Our unofficial top 6 at this time. Tied for 5th place, we have Ryan Kuhn from Canada. Start time, or downtime, 49.59 seconds. Tied for 5th. From Canada, we have Joseph Brusick with a 49.59 seconds. Tied for 3rd, we have Jared Firestone from Israel with a 49.46 seconds. And then again, tied for 3rd, we have Lucas Defiette from France with a 49.46 seconds. In 2nd place, from Japan, we have Hiroyatsu Takahashi with a downtime of 49.44 seconds. And in 1st place at this time, from Australia, we have Nicholas Timmings with a downtime of 49.38 seconds.
Attention at the start. 10-minute warning for our first of two forerunners. 10 minutes. We're only 10 minutes away before we start it up again. It'll be the second final heat for the women's skeleton stop here at Utah Olympic Park. The site of the 19th Winter Olympic Games. Thanks to Terry Talbot giving you the play-by-play action for the men's heat. The sport of skeleton is measured to the 100th of a second, and we had 3 ties to the 100th of a second. There's a protocol to determine who will go first for the second final heat. But right now, we're less than 10 minutes away from the forerunners. The athletes get shuttled back up. They have an opportunity to work on their sleds momentarily before we kick off the second final heat for the women's event. This is the track we're going to use for the 2034 games. This is the track we used for the 19th Winter Olympic Games, 2002 Winter Olympic Games, with only 2 tracks in America here in upstate New York, Lake Placid, New York. Not quite as fast as this track, the track in Lake Placid. It is more technical. It is more technical, but doesn't quite carry the speed. The fastest track in the world, without a doubt, is in Whistler, the site of the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. So the athletes are getting shuttled back up. They have a moment to work on their sleds. It's all based on race protocol. Then we'll have our forerunners, and we'll kick off the second and final heat for the women's competition. Thanks again, Terry Talbot, for helping us out. Later on this afternoon, we'll have official bobsled training in preparation for the North America's Cup 2-man, 2-person, monobob, as well as the 4-man sled. It'll take place over the next several days. While you're visiting us here at the Utah Olympic Park, if you're thinking about how in the world do you get involved in these sports, there are after-school programs, whether it's luge, bobsled, or skeleton. Maybe you wanted to take part in the world of speed skating, short track, figure skating, or hockey. Just go to the Utah Olympic Park website, do a little homework, and get your kids involved. Whether they want to ski the moguls, whether they want a Nordic jump, where they fly off the big green jumps you see behind the museum, as well as the 65 and the 90 and the 120 meter Olympic jumps. Those are the jumps, the 90 and 120 will be used during the games. In 2034, Utah 2034. 5 minutes, 5-minute warning for the first forerunner. 2 forerunners before we kick off with the first competitive sled. Now the process is pretty simple. They have a draw to see who goes first, all the way through the length of the start list, and it's reverse order by rank. So your leaders after run number 1 will be the final sleds going. Correction, there's going to be 3 forerunners. Good news, 3 forerunners.
That's not what they told us. That's not what they told us.
And so your leader after run number 1 is Nicole Berger from the Republic of South Africa with that beautiful time of 50.17. Unofficially sitting in the second spot, which will be the second to last sled, sliding for the United States of America, with her finish time of 50.59 is Liesl Baker. And then the third, sitting in third after run number 1, will be the third to the final sled is Grace Defoe from Canada. She posted a 50.88. So those will be the last 3 in this field of 19. Attention at the start. A 2-minute warning for the 3 forerunners. 2-minute warning for the 3 forerunners. North America Cup stop here in Park City, Utah. It's Skeleton, where they're blasting off the push block. Thanks to Austin Carter for tuning up those drive lines. Skeleton runners, the steels that touch the ice. The entire steel is nearly rounded. Only in the back is there a beveled edge so the sled can track in a straight line. Not unlike a bobsled, the runners are round. So there's a drive line, a groove that's cut in the ice that's approximately 30 meters down the ramp, and there's no rule that says when they have to stop pushing that sled. The key is to gain all that momentum. Your goal is to be in first place going into corner number 1. So the push time is so important, both for the men and women in the sport of skeleton, as well as bobsled. Only luge is measured to the thousandths of a second. In luge, they pull off the handles with cat claw spikes attached to their gloves, paddle down the ramp to pick up speed. But skeleton and bobsled, there's no rule that says when they have to jump in their sled or on their sled as they slide into corner number 1. We're less than 2 minutes away from the first of 3 forerunners. Stand by for more skeleton action here. North America Cup. Stop here in Park City, Utah. This is reverse order by rank, so we'll have 19 sleds. The fastest sleds will be the leaders after run number 1. Stick around. We're less than 2 minutes away from our forerunners. The track is clear to skeleton start for a first of 3 forerunners. Sliding track from the skeleton start. Forerunners are always used to ensure the officials and the timing and scoring, everybody's in place before we start our second and final competitive run. During the Olympic Games, the Olympiad, There's 4 heats. 4 heats. Only the World Championships and the Olympic Games do they have 4 heats. For the World Cups, North America Cups is a 2-heat competition. These athletes travel around North America. In Europe, the same level of competition is called the Europa Cup. These athletes are trying to earn valuable points to represent their countries. Hopefully, have an opportunity to go to Milan Cortina this February to represent their nations. And our first of 3 forerunners slides up the outrun. The track is clear to scale to start for forerunner number 2. So the track from the skeleton start. To drive these sleds, they're using their shoulders and their thighs, pushing in the direction of travel. So it's in the sport of luge where they use the upper leg in the corner to push that sled down in the opposite shoulder. Where skeleton, they're using the same shoulder and thigh pushing down. It's not unusual to have them drag a toe to set that sled up for the next corner. No brakes on these sleds. This is why we're using memory foam pads at the outrun to slow these sleds down. As the men, as Terry was pointing out, well over 80 miles an hour. Forerunner number 2 slides underneath the delicate arch. The track is cleared. Let's go start for a 3rd and final forerunner. So the track for the skeleton start. So our 3rd and final forerunner negotiates the final 2 corners. Thanks to the forerunners for helping us out, both in the men's and women's competition. The 3rd forerunner slides underneath the delicate arch, comes up the long outrun. Attention at the start. Attention at the start. This is a 5-minute warning. Once again, a 5-minute warning for our first competitive sled for Emily Maria McDonald, Spain. Before we get started in our second and final heat for the women's competition, just a reminder, curve 12, the shades are up and open. All the corners are numbered. Underneath the old scoreboard frame is curve 14. You can just work your way up. The shades are used to keep it cold inside. There's over 60 miles of refrigeration pipes built in the concrete. We use the shades to keep the sun from beating down on the ice or the inclement weather of snow, if we ever get snow this 25-26 season, or rain. All tracks use a variety of different styles of shades, but all tracks are covered. During the Olympic Games, the Games of the Olympiad, all the shades were up and open. A lot of the competitions were held early in the evening. The track crew, by hand, manicures the ice and prepares it for each and every day. 2-minute warning, a 2-minute warning for the first competitive sled. 2 minutes at the start. Just a reminder for our skeleton racing fans up at the skeleton start. Once they get that audible and you hear the announcer, that's me, give them the permission, the green light to take off. You got to put your hands together. You got to cheer these athletes on. All these athletes are still trying to accumulate points to represent their nations come February for the 2026 Games in Milano Cortina, Italy. So once again, when you hear that audible, don't hesitate to scream and yell and cheer these athletes on. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Emily Maria McDonald, Spain. Sled and track from the skeleton start. We're racing once again here at the Utah Olympic Park. It's the North American Cup skeleton competition, the second and final run. It's a cumulative time. Your lowest accumulative time will be your North America's Cup winner. This glorious morning, perfect outside air temperature for racing skeleton. Madeline Parra from Canada, stand by. Coming out of curve 13, now 14. We call that slingshot, double pressure corner. Bouncing once, twice, sliding into curve 15, Uinta. It is not unusual for a bobsled skeleton luge track to have a finish curve that climbs uphill. Here at the Utah Olympic Park, our finish curve climbs up nearly 60 feet in elevation. We've mentioned it before, no brakes on a skeleton sled as they collect the memory foam pads to slow them down. Finish time was a 54.99. Track is cleared to skeleton start for Madeline Parra from Canada. Sudden track from the skeleton start. Indy standby at the skeleton start. Push time 5:51. As we get deeper into the field for the second final run, we'll give you play-by-play action. It's going to be close, not unlike what we saw with the men's competition with several ties to the 100th of a second. We'll sort that out to determine who will be going first in this reverse order. Ooh, she comes out of 7 high, dropping in, bumping hard on sliders left. Now out of curve 10 into curve 11, early entrance into 11. Let it ride, driving that sled off a little early, coming in, hitting sliders left. Takes a long time to learn how to negotiate these corners. Every track is different. They memorize when and where to steer at each and every corner. As we mentioned before, there's only 3 active tracks in North America. Lake Placid, the site of the 1932 as well as 1980 Winter Olympic Games. Of course, here in Utah, Olympic Park. And Whistler, Calgary, the site to the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. 53, 53.97 finish time, accompanied by a push time of 5:51. The track is clear. Just go. Start for Indy Dorshid from Canada. Sudden track from the skeleton start. Julia Hamilton, also from Canada, standby. 5:61 push time. Sliding through curve 4, coming off late. When you're coming off the corner late, it drives that sled to the opposite wall immediately. If you're coming off early, it's not unusual to slide down 50, 20, 30 meters down the track before you brush the wall. They memorize when and where to steer in each and every corner, each and every track. She came out of 11 late, driving her over into curve 12 early. The exit of 13 is nice. Now coming out of 14, let's watch that straightaway. Brushing sliders left. She crosses the finish line for her second and final run here at the Utah Olympic Park with a 53.10. 5:61 push time. 5:61 push time. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Julia Hamilton, Canada.
Start.
Sudden track for the skeleton start. Lonnie standby at the start, representing the United States of America. +78 miles an hour coming through curve 6 into 7, sliding through the labyrinth corners. Dropping through the Wasatch Fault right down the middle. Beautiful transition into curve 12. Trying to keep those shoulders flat. If they lift their shoulders too high, it changes the balance of the sled and they lose control. Just the opposite in the sport of luge, where they lift the shoulders up, the weight distribution moves forward, and the athlete has no control of that sled. She collects a pad or 2 or 3, now 4, as she crosses the finish line with the 52.31. It is reverse order by rank, so your leaders after run number 1 will be the final sleds in this field of 18. Track is clear at the skeleton start for Lana Uki from the United States of America. So the track for the skeleton start. Please stand by at the skeleton start. Ana Torres Quevedo from Spain. Brushing sliders left going into curve 2 as that sled's breaking free. Now she's regained her composure out of curve 3 into 4. Nice exit through 4 into 5. Lost quite a bit of speed up top there in those upper corners. 15 corners, nearly a 300-foot drop. Speeds in men's singles luge as well as men's or women's for that matter, 4-man bobsleighs with the quickest here at over 85 miles an hour down the track. She comes up through curve 15, crosses the finish line. 53 82 is the finish time. 5:25 push. She's back by 1.45 hundredths. Unofficially in the third spot. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Ana Torres Quevedo, Spain. Southern track for the skeleton start. The athletes have a choice to use that left or right drive line. Brushing sliders right out of curve 1. She came out of curve 1 a little early, causing her to miss the exit, brushing or striking that sliders right, losing valuable speed. Push time was a 5:51. For her to move into first place, she needs to be quicker than a 52:31 or a combined time of 1:46.26. Out of curve 10 into 11. Deep entrance into 11. She's back by 6/100ths of a second. Now it's a solid 1/10 of a second. Out of 12 into 13. Not a bad exit out of 13. She's still back by 12/100ths. Now it's 16/100ths of a second out of 14. Right up the middle in the curve 15. She's not going to do it. Will she be in the top 3? She is in the third spot unofficially with the 53:04 for Ana. She slides for Team Spain, 53:04. Speed not quite matching near leaders at 77.7 miles an hour. The track is clear to skeleton start for Kim Yerim, Korea. Southern track from the skeleton start. Sliding into corner number 1, posting a 5:31 push time. Out of 3 into curve 4. Right down the middle. Right down the middle. As a result of that, she's carrying that momentum that she was gaining, and they're coming down that 50-meter ramp into curve 1, 2, and 3. She's currently in the lead by 0.8 of a second. Beautiful transitions through the labyrinth corners. Right down the middle, through the Wasatch Falls into curve 11. Her lead is starting to grow by over a second. Her speed, not quite 80 miles an hour, at 79.4 miles an hour. 1 second, 16/100th of a lead. Little bit of action there coming out of curve 14 to 15. That's not going to stop her from moving to the lead. 51.60. 51.60. Top speed 79.4 miles an hour. We have a new leader. Combined time 143.80. We have a new leader. 51.60. Kim from Korea moves into the lead. The track is clear to go. Start for Shannon Galea, Malta. Sled and track for the skeleton start. Emily Bateman from Canada, stand by. Shannon's first run was a 51.81. Her push time was a 5:39. She's currently in lead by 27 hundredths of a second. Erin Kim from Korea with that beautiful lines as she was negotiating the upper section of the track through 2, 3, 4, and 5, allowed her to move into the lead. Shannon right now is in the lead by 41 hundredths of a second. Both runs count. Your lowest accumulative time will be your North America's Cup winner here at Park City, Utah. She's in the lead by 33 hundredths of a second. Speed is 79.8 miles. Let's just call it 80 miles an hour. She's cruising. She's in the lead by 31 hundredths of a second. Can she be quicker than a 51.60? That'll put her into the lead. Crosses the finish line for a number 2 of 51.69. 51.69 because of her performance on run number 1. The accumulative time of 1:43.50 has moved her into the lead. 80 miles an hour, 79.8, but let's just call it 80 miles an hour for Shannon. 51.69. The track is cleared. The skeleton start for Emily Bateman, Canada. Sled track from the skeleton start. Logan Woody from United States of America, stand by. Emily Bateman, first run was a 51.73. For her to move into the lead, she needs to be quicker than a 51.77. Her push time, ready for this? 5:14 push time. 5:14 push time. She only has 19 hundredths of a second lead. Now it's 15 hundredths of a second lead. She's at 78 miles an hour. It's not going to be enough speed. That's not going to be enough speed. She's coming into curve 11. She's in the lead only by 5 hundredths of a second. Now it's only 2 100ths of a second. Emily Bateman from Canada. Intermediate time's a 40.38. Her start time's a 5:14. A little trouble through 13 and 14. Up the middle, though, up the middle into curve 15. Will she be second or third or fourth? Crosses the finish line, third. 1:43.82 combined time. 32 hundredths of a second back behind Shannon Galea from Malta. 78.0 miles an hour. A beautiful push of 5:14. 5:14 push puts her unofficially in the third spot. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Logan Rudy from the United States of America. Sled track from the skeleton start. Laura Vargas, please stand by. 5:34 push time. Now it's all about the push. 5:34. If you compare that to what we saw, the sled just prior at a 5:14, she already would have given up 0.2 of a second. Because of her first run time for Logan, correction, was a 51.70. For her to move into the lead, she needs to be a 51.80. She's in the lead by 3. Now it's a dead tie. Now it's a dead tie coming out of curve 10. Now coming into curve 11, she's fallen back 4 hundredths of a second. 79 miles an hour. Now she's back by 1/10 of a second. Legs flopping a little bit, coming out of 13. Now coming into 14. Now she's back by 17 hundredths. Now it's 0.3 of a second. Where did the speed go? Logan crosses the finish line. Here we go. 52.17. She drops several spots to fourth unofficially with that combined time of 1:43.87. Speed 79 miles an hour. Start time 5:34. So Logan's unofficially in the fourth spot with a 1:43.87. The track is cleared to skeleton start for Laura Vargas, Colombia. Set and track from the skeleton start. Hong Soo-young from Korea, standby. Laura Vargas, first run was a 51.61. A 5:39 push time. 5:39 push time. Dragging that left toe coming to curve 4. Now through the exit of curve 4. Nice transition. A little late into curve 6. Let's watch the exit of curve 6. Nice transition. 6-7. 7-8. Sliding through the labyrinth corners. Every track in the world has a labyrinth. Every track in the world is different. Some tracks, not unlike the one that was for the 2022 Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, has a corner that's over a full circle. She's coming out of curve 13 into curve 14. She's back by 75 hundredths of a second. Now it's 95. It's going to be a second and a tenth as she crosses the finish line. Underneath the arch, a second and 16 hundredths moves her unofficially into 5th. Things are getting thick here. Things are starting to mix up with the 53.05 finish time. 5:39 push. The track is cleared. The skeleton start for Hong Soo-young from Korea. Southern track from the skeleton start. Gracie Otto from the United States, standby. The Korean Hong comes down the ramp. Holy mackerel, it's a good push. 5:10 push. 5:10 push. That's the quickest push we've seen so far for run number 2. Dragging the right toe coming to curve 6. She's got nearly 6/10 of a second lead coming out of curve 6 and the curve 7. No trouble there. Now in the labyrinth corners. 47 hundredths of a second lead. Out of curve 10. Brushing sliders left going into curve 11. That's going to cost her a tenth or 2. Now it's 43 hundredths of a second. Speed 78.6 miles an hour. Now it's 39 hundredths of a second. Dragging the left toe going into curve 14. Now it's only 3/10 of a second. Coming on to 14. Brushing sliders left. Climbing up 60 feet in elevation. She's going to do it, but not by much. Second. Oh, it's getting good. 52.01. She's in second place unofficially by 2/100ths of a second after 2 runs down this Olympic track by 2/100ths of a second, posting one of the fastest pushes we've seen all morning, along with the 5:10. The track is cleared. The skeleton start for Gracie Otto from the United States of America. Southern track for the skeleton start. Katie Tannenbaum, Virgin Islands, standby. Gracie Otto down the 50-meter ramp. Gracie's being coached by the great Nick Vienu. Let's see if she can put it together. Her push time's at 5:25. She's in the lead by 51 hundredths of a second. She's got to be around 80 miles an hour coming out of curve 6. This is her home track. Quick tap at the left toe coming out of curve 6. Here we go. Here's the speed. Stand by. Here's the speed. 79.6 miles an hour. She's still in the lead by half a second. Right down the middle through the Wasatch Fault coming out of curve 11. A little late out of 11. She's been struggling in curve 11. No problem through the exit of 12. Now 13, 14. She's still in the lead by over half a second. Brushing once, sliding twice, coming into curve 14, now 15. This is going to be enough. It is enough. She lost about 15 hundredths between curve 14 and 15. Posting a finish time of 51.70. 51.70. Gracie Otto for the United States of America with a combined time of 1:43.18 is your new leader. We have a new leader here at the Utah Olympic Park. Gracie Otto, 51.70 downtime, 141.18. New leader. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Katie Tannenbaum, Virgin Islands. So the track from the skeleton start. Hannah Rushworm, Finland, standby. Katie Tannenbaum, not known for a ballistic start with the 535, but she's had hundreds of runs down this track. She knows how to negotiate 1,334 meters of ice. She's in the lead ahead of Gracie Otto, your current leader, by 17 hundredths of a second. Katie's first run was a 51.22. She was about 2/10 of a second quicker than Gracie after run number one. Her lead is only 16 hundredths of a second. Right down the middle, not unlike Gracie coming into curve 11. Her lead's only 14 hundredths. It's only 14 hundredths coming out of 11 into curve 12. Out of 12 into 13, right down the middle. As a result of that, she's reeled in 2 hundredths, now 3 hundredths. She's in the lead by 23 hundredths. Right up the middle, we're going to have a new leader. We're going to see another leader change. Tannenbaum, 51.64. 51.64, another new leader. It's going to get tight for the final 5 sleds. A 142.86. Sliding for Virgin Islands, Katie Tannenbaum moves into the lead. 51.64, new leader. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Hannah Rushworm, Finland. Starting track from the skeleton start. Kelly Delka, standby. She posted a 51.06. A 51.06 for run number one for Hannah. She needs to be quicker than a 51.80. So if she matches her first run time, she'll, without a doubt, move into the lead. Just under half a second lead, she's coming on a curve 6 and a 7. Can she break the 80 mile? Oh, slow speed comparison to your leaders, Katie and Gracie. It's 77.8. Her lead is 23 hundredths of a second. Still at 23 hundredths of a second at a curve 11. Nice line through 11 and 12. Uh-oh, it's slipping away in the world of the skeleton. Let's call it sliding away because she's only 7. Now she's back by 3 100ths. 3 100ths, back by 7 100ths. Will she be in the top 3? Second. Second place. So Katie Tannenbaum moves up a spot. So unofficially it's Tannenbaum. Katie's your leader. Hannah's in second. Gracie Otto's unofficially in the third spot. Finish time for Hannah for run number 2, 51.93. Start time, 5:14. A beautiful start. The track is cleared to skeleton start for Kelly Delka, Puerto Rico. So the track from the skeleton start, only 3 sleds remaining after to complete our North American Cup stop for the women's race number 3. On the track right now, representing Puerto Rico's Kelly Delka. One good-looking helmet. Kelly Delka, she doesn't mess around when it comes to getting the picture-perfect helmet, and it's illustrated right there. And another thing she's illustrated, she's here to play because she just posted a 5:14 push. She's got a half a second to work with to move ahead of your current leader, Katie Tannenbaum. Now it's 44, now it's 42 hundredths of a second. Sliding on to curve 11 into curve 12. Beautiful transition. Nice, just left to center going into the Olympic corner. Her lead's falling back by a few hundredths of a second, but she still has 29 hundredths to work with. Can she move into the lead? Right up the middle, through the Wasatch, coming through the shady thicket, and now Uinta, oh, she lost a little bit, but she has maintained that spot. As a result of that, with the 142.77, she has moved into the lead by only 8 100ths of a second. Finish time for Kelly Delka, representing Puerto Rico, is a 51.77. Another strong push of a 5:14. Only 2 sleds remaining. 2 sleds remaining. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Liesl Baker from the United States of America. Sudden track from the skeleton start. She's sitting in second place after run number 1. Second place after run number 1. She posted a 50.59. It's all about the speed. Her push time, 5:21. She's in the lead by 29 hundredths of a second. She's sliding out of curve 4 into curve 5. Head right down, aerodynamics are just perfect. She's still in the lead by 38 hundredths of a second. Can she break 79 miles an hour? Here she comes, 80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour for Liesl Baker from the United States of America. Here she comes through the Wasatch Fault, coming into 11. We may have a new leader. She's currently in the lead by 63 hundredths of a second. 63 hundredths of a second coming out of 13. Now it's 68 hundredths of a second. Liesl Baker from the United States of America is going to move into the lead. Coming up through Uinta, crossing the finish line. 51.12. 51.12. She collects 1, 2, 3, all the pads. That's Liesl. That's Liesl Baker from the United States. Finish time of 51.12. We have a new leader. Good speed. She broke the 80-mile-an-hour mark at 80.1 miles an hour with only one sled remaining. Liesl Baker from the United States of America is your current leader with one sled to go. The track is clear at the skeleton start for Nicole Berger, Republic of South Africa. Sudden track from the skeleton start. Smooth load coming into curve 1, deep into curve 1. She has over half a second to work with, meaning she can make a slight mistake and still move into the lead. Deep entrance into curve 4. Half a second is a tremendous gap there between first and second. Liesl Baker is still your current leader. Speed, though. Liesl had 80. What is she going to post through curve 6? 79.3, not quite matching the speed as Liesl Baker, your current leader. She's sliding through the labyrinth corners. Now it's 47 hundredths of a second. This is Nicole Berger from the Republic of South Africa. Still in the lead by 4/10 of a second. Now to 12. Now 13. 13-14, deep entrance into slingshot. She should have no trouble. Right up the middle, we're going to see a leader change. We're going to see an unofficial winner here at Park City, Utah. Unofficially, she does do it. She did lose some time, but she had that tremendous first run. 51.27. Combined times of 141.44. She is unofficially your winner here at the North America Cup Skeleton Race here at the women's after run number 2. She's done it. She's maintained that lead after run number 1. She won a 50.17 for run number 1, posting a 51.27. Her push time, 5:05. Hello, 5:05. That's one of the fastest pushes we've seen in the last several days. Unofficially, she's done it. Nicole Berger from the Republic of South Africa. The smile on her face goes all the way from the north to the south. Congratulations, your unofficial winner here at the Utah Olympic Park North America Cup Women's Skeleton Race number 3. Stand by for updates. In just a few minutes, we'll have our 4 runners for the men's competition, and you'll hear the magical voice of Terry Talbot bringing it home for the men's second and final heat. Once again, unofficially, Nicole Berger from the Republic of South Africa wins it. Liesl Baker from the United States of America in a dominating fashion finishes unofficially in second.
Delka third.
And Kelly Delka from Puerto Rico finishes at number 3 spot. Congratulations to all the athletes competing in our 3rd race here. Stand by for our 4 winners for the men's competition. Enjoy the afternoon, a great opportunity to move around. Curve 12 is always a great place to watch. Congratulations to all the athletes.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning for our 4-runner sleds before men's heat 2. 2-minute warning.
Track's now clear at the skeleton start for our first and only 4-runner. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Attention guests here at the Utah Olympic Park. All buildings and grates alongside the track are for coaches and athletes only. That's for the people sitting there at the exit of the finish line. I cannot have you on that dock. Thank you. Two-minute warning to our first competitive sled. 2-minute warning to Xander Greco. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Xander Greco. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Kevin Hang Lee from Chinese Taipei. Stand by, please. In the track, we have Xander Greco from Canada. Our North America's Cup Heat 2 for the men's skeleton has been whittled from 32 sliders down to the top 5, or top 25. Xander Greco had a start time of 4.79 seconds. He's also racing in the Pan Am Youth Championships under 20. The under 20 and the under 23 division, these are the athletes to watch for the 2034 Olympics since they are just getting started. Xander Greco's looking to improve upon his time to try to jump a few spots as he now comes up through Uintas, crossing the finish line with a downtime of 50.07 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 40.98 seconds. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Kevin Hang Lee. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Noah Park from the United States of America. Stand by, please. In the track, we have Kevin Hang Lee. Start time, 4.84 seconds. Heat 2 of the North America's Cup men's skeleton is reverse ranked by order. So we are going to see a lot of lead changes here as the fastest sliders go at the end of the order. Kevin Hang Lee coming through curve 7, top speed 80.3 miles an hour. So he goes right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. He's currently 400ths behind the pace as he comes down through 12-13. Need to find some speed coming here through Slingshot. Top speed in there, 75.7 miles an hour, 700ths behind the pace as he comes down, dropping one position with a downtime of 50.36 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 41.08 seconds. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Noah Park. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Sam Allred, stand by, please. In the track, we have Noah Park from the United States of America. Start time, 5.04 seconds. One of two Park brothers we are going to see here today at the Utah Olympic Park. Noah is currently 1900ths behind the pace as he comes through cutthroat into Snowy, dropping that toe a little bit. Coming at a curve 7, top speed 80.2 miles an hour, going through those labyrinth curves. He's falling a little further back now. He's now 4/10ths behind the pace out of 11 into 12. Good line into 13. Trying to get some speed going through Slingshot. 77.1 mile an hour coming down, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 1 minute 41.47, dropping 2 positions at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Sam Allred. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Tyler Maddle, stand by, please. In the track, sliding for the United States of America, we have Sam Allred. Start time, 4.74 seconds. Want to get a good start time? Carry that speed down through the track as he now exits Snowy into Cutthroat. He's currently 25 hundredths ahead of the pace as he comes down through curve 7 with a top speed of 70, let's just call it 80 miles an hour as he heads through those labyrinth curves and hitting sliders left right before going into curve 11, sends him high and then into the short wall, sliders left, curve 12. But he has it under control now as he comes down through Slingshot, hitting right, dragging both of those toes left and right, trying to gain control. Crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.93. Combined downtime 1 minute 41.56 seconds. Dropping 3 positions at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Tyler Mattel. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Sebastian Rainier from Canada, stand by please. In the track we have Tyler Mattel from the United States of America. Start time 4.94 seconds. Welcome guests, it is race day here at the Utah Olympic Park. Kind of a windy day, but it's enjoying time to watch some skeleton racing. We just have few rules over here at trackside. There is no standing, leaning, sitting on the fences, or putting our heads underneath the shades alongside the track. All buildings and grates alongside the track are for coaches and athletes only. No throwing of objects at or around the track, including the imaginary snow for our snowballs. And at no time, enter the track surface. These rules are for your safety as well as the safety of our athletes. Enjoy your time here at the Utah Olympic Park. Tyler Mattel crossing the finish line with a downtime of 50.97 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 41.48 seconds. Currently 4th place at this time. Your current leader, Xander Greco, has jumped 5 spots and with a downtime of 140.98 at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Sebastian Rainier. Sled in track from the skeleton start. Kwasi Frimpong from Ghana, stand by please. In the track, sliding for Canada, we have Sebastian Rainier. Start time 4.85 seconds. As he now comes down through curve 3, he's currently 3/10 ahead of the pace. As he comes down, run 1. In run 1, he had a 50.50 seconds. He'll need a 50.48 to maintain his position. He's currently 18 hundredths. He's losing time as he comes down through curve 11 into 12. See if he can make some of that now. He's only 1400, 12 hundredths. Needs to get some speed going here through Slingshot. Oh, he's going to lose it. He's now only 2 hundredths ahead as he goes through the shady thicket up through 15, crossing the finish line with a downtime of 50.64 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 41.14, dropping 2 positions at this time. Currently 3rd place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Kwasi Frimpong. Sled and track from the skeleton start. RJ10 from the United States of America. Stand by, please. In the track, we have Quasi Frimpong sliding for Ghana. Start time, 4.82 seconds. Quasi in run 1 had a 50.26. He'll need a 50.72 to maintain his position. He's currently a half second ahead of that pace as he comes through curve 7 with a top speed of 79.1 miles an hour. He needs to pick up speed. He's starting to fall back. He's now only 0.2 ahead of the pace as he comes down through 11 into 12. Now a tenth, now only a tenth. Now it's how far is he going to drop? How far is he going to drop in the standings as he now comes through? Slingshot hitting sliders right, going up into Uinta with a downtime of 1 minute 41.35 seconds. Combined downtime of 1 minute 41.35 seconds. Currently dropping 3 spots to be in 4th place. Track's now clear at skeleton start for RJ10. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Baden Park for the United States of America. Stand by, please. In the track, we have RJ10 sliding for the United States of America. Start time, 4.69 seconds, our fastest so far here in Heat 2. RJ is currently 0.8 ahead of our leader, Xander Greco, at this moment as he goes into curve 6. Now 7, top speed, 80.6 miles an hour heading through those labyrinth curves, but he's starting to lose ground. Now he's only 0.7 ahead of the pace going into curve 11. Little high out of 11 puts him into sliders left in 12 and in coming out of 13. Dragging those toes, trying to get it. It's going to cost him some time, but he's still over a half second ahead of the pace as he comes up through the finish line with a downtime of 50.46 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute 40.68, taking over that top spot at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Baden Park. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Hayato Kawano, stand by please. In the track sledding for the United States of America, we have Baden Park, the second of the Park twins, as he has a start time of 4.99 seconds coming through the 3-4 straightaway.
That's correct.
Baden Park coming down through curve 7, top speed 80.8 miles an hour. Baden's currently 0.4 behind the pace as he goes through curve 11 into 12. Still hanging right around 0.4 behind the pace as he goes into Slingshot. Top speed 76 miles an hour out of Slingshot, crossing the finish line with a downtime of 1 minute combined downtime 1 minute 40.82 seconds. Currently second place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Hayato Kawano from Japan. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Song Young Min from Korea, stand by please. In the track we have Hayata Kawano sliding for Japan. Start time 4.76 seconds as he now comes down through the 3-4 straightaway. Going into sunny, now cutthroat. He's currently 700ths ahead of the pace as he heads into snowy. Nice line through 6, now 7, top speed, 80.9 miles an hour as he heads through those labyrinth curves. Little early into 11, but he has it under control. Going into 12, he's still 1300ths ahead of the pace. Dropping that toe out of 13 might cost him a little bit. We'll see. Hitting left, then right in the shady thicket. Coming up through the finish line. Downtime 50.42 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 40.44. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Song Young Min. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Peter McCready's from Australia, stand by please. In the track sliding for Korea, we have Song Young Min. Start time 4.71 seconds. He'll need a 50.43 seconds to take over that top spot. He is currently a 10th ahead of that as he hits sliders left coming out of cutthroat. That's going to cost him some time. As he hits coming out of 6, top speed 78.4 miles an hour. Not enough speed to make it into the top here as he hit sliders left going through 11. He's getting it under control. Hopefully he can get some speed now coming through this lower half of the track. Try to make up some time to see where he's going to land in the standings as he comes down through the shady thickets, brushing sliders left and right, crossing the finish line, dropping 1 spot with a downtime of 50.56 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 40.57 seconds. Second place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Peter McCready's. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Adrian Rodriguez from Spain, stand by please. In the track sliding for Australia, we have Peter McCready's. Start time 4.85 seconds. Peter is currently 1400ths behind the pace as he comes down through sunny into cutthroat curve 5, dropping that toe a little bit as he now comes through curve 6, now 7. Top speed 80 miles an hour, not quite as fast as some of the higher people so far. Dropping that toe in the 10-11, going to slow him down a little bit more. He's currently 2/10 behind the pace. We'll see where he lands in the standings as he comes through 13, going a little early into 14. Knees come up off the sled, going up through the finish line with a downtime of 50.44. Combined downtime 1 minute 40.44. Tied for first place. He picked up some speed going through slingshot and low point. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Adrian Rodriguez. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Shin Yun-soo from Korea. Stand by, please. In the track sliding for Spain, we have Adrian Rodriguez. Start time, another blazing 4.69 seconds. If you can get under 4.7, that's a fast push time. As he now comes through, Snowy into Cutthroat, now into 6. He's currently 1700ths ahead of that pace as he heads through those labyrinths at a top speed of 80 miles an hour. Hitting sliders right, going into curve 11. Has it under control though. Nice line into 12. Now 13. Falling back, he's now 400ths ahead of the pace. Is he going to be able to get some speed here going through there? He's not. Yep, he did. He got some speed. He's going to take over that top spot with a downtime of 50.39 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute 40.33. Overtaking that top spot at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Shin Yun-soo. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Lin Wei Peng, Chinese Taipei, stand by please. In the track sliding for Korea, we have Shin Yun-soo. Start time, 4.87 seconds. In run one, Shin Yun-soo had a 49.92 seconds. He'll need a 50.41 to overtake that top spot. He's currently 1600ths behind the pace as he comes through. Curve 6 into 7, top speed, 80.9 miles an hour. He's only 200ths behind the pace now as he goes into curve 11, dropping that toe. A little late high out of that, puts him early into 12, but he has it under control. He's now 300ths ahead of the pace, going through slingshot. Brushing that sliders right. Will it cost him any? It did. Downtime, 50.51 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute 40.43. Drop in one spot to second place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Lin Wei Peng. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Yao Chan Hook from Korea, stand by please. In the track sliding for Chinese Taipei, we have Lin Wei Peng. Start time 4.70 seconds. Correction. As he comes now through Sunny into Cutthroat. He's currently 900ths ahead of the pace. Coming down through Snowy into 7, top speed, 80.8 miles an hour heading into those labyrinth curves. Hitting sliders right, going through the 10-11 straightaway. That's going to cost him some time. We'll see if it bothers him down the rest of the track. He's 2/10, now 2500ths ahead of the pace, going into slingshot. Top speed out of slingshot, 78.3 miles an hour. He's going to take over that top spot with a downtime of 49.97 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute 39.82. Current leader at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Yao Chan Hook. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Jonathan Yah, stand by please, from Malaysia. In the trowel, sliding for Korea, we have Yao Chan Hook, start time. Our fastest one of Heat 2, 4.66 seconds. Gives him a full 10th start, or ahead of the pace as he comes down through Cutthroat, dropping that toe, going into Snowy, which cost him. He's now a dead heat going through those labyrinth curves, now behind by 200ths. He'll need to have a nice clean run. Dropping that toe in the 10-11 as he exits curve 11. He's now 300ths behind the pace as he comes out of 12 into 13, going into Slingshot. Will he find some speed coming out of Slingshot? He has. He's only 200ths, but he dropped the toe. We'll see what happens as he comes up to the finish line. He overtook the lead. Downtime, 50.02 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.79. Overtaking that top spot by 300ths of a second. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Jonathan Yah. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Eduardo Strapasan from Brazil, stand by please. In the track we got Jonathan Yah, start time 4.83 seconds. In Heat 1, Jonathan had a 49.73. He'll need a 50.06 to maintain his position. He's currently a 2/10 behind that pace as he now comes into curve 6. Snowy, 7, top speed, 81.1 mile an hour heading through those labyrinth curves. He's now he is overtaken the lead. He's now 100th ahead of the pace as he goes through 11th into 12. Now a full 10th into 13. Now into Slingshot 14, going through that shady thicket with a top speed of 77.6 miles an hour. Up through Uinta, crossing the finish line with the downtime of 50.04 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.77. Overtaking the top spot by 200ths. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Eduardo Strapasan. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Tato Nagao from Japan, stand by please. In the track we have Eduardo Strapasan from Brazil. Start time 4.87 seconds as he now comes through curve 3. Eduardo had a 49.69 in Heat 1. He'll need a 50.08 to overtake that top spot, and he's currently 200ths ahead of the pace, coming out of 7 with a top speed of 80.6 miles an hour. Going through that 10-11 straightaway, still 100th ahead of the pace. Now he's 400ths behind the pace, coming through 11, 12, now 13. See if we get some speed here going through Slingshot. Hitting sliders right, puts him in sliders left. That's going to cost him. But it didn't. Downtime, 50.03 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.72. Overtaking that top spot at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Tato Nagao. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Joseph Brusik from Canada, stand by please. In the track sliding for Japan, we have Tato Nagao. Start time, 4.79 seconds. Tato Nagao is going to need a 50.05 to maintain his position. He's currently 16 hundredths ahead of that pace as he comes through. Cutthroat, brush and sliders left as he goes into curve 6, Snowy. Now into 7, top speed, 80.6 miles an hour going through those labyrinth curves. Brushing sliders right through curve 11. Sends him high out of 11, dropping out. That's going to cost him a little bit as he now comes through 13. He's actually 600ths behind the pace going into slingshot. Hugging that sliders right, coming up, crossing the finish line with a downtime of 50.41 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 40.08, dropping 4 spots to be 5th place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Joseph Brusik. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Ryan Kuhn, stand by please, from Canada. In the track, sliding for Canada, we have Joseph Brusik. Start time, 4.68 seconds. We're down to our fastest 6 sliders. We had Joseph Brusik and Ryan Kuhn. We're tied in Heat 1. So they're looking to get a little bit of separation here as Joseph comes down through the labyrinth curves, top speed 80.1 miles an hour, jumping into curve 11. Good line though, out of 11 into 12. He's currently 32 hundredths ahead of the pace as he heads into slingshot. Brushing sliders right, coming out of 14. He's only 15 hundredths. Will he maintain it? He does. He does by 2 hundredths of a second. Downtime 50.11. Combined downtime 1 minute 39.70. Taking over that top spot at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Ryan Kuhn. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Lucas Defiette from France, stand by please. In the track we have Ryan Kuhn from Canada. Start time 5.05 seconds. In run 1, Ryan had a 49.59, tied with his teammate Joseph Brusik, who we just saw. So Ryan's going to need a 50.11. He's currently 7/10ths behind that pace as he comes down through 7 into 8, 9. Top speed 79.7 miles an hour. So he goes into curve 11. Now into 12. It's dropping. It's going to see how far is he going to drop. He's going to drop outside the top 6, it looks like. Coming down through the shady thicket. Up into Uinta, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.74. Combined downtime 1 minute 40.33. Dropping 6 positions to be in 7th place at this time. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Lucas Defiette. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Jared Firestone from Israel, stand by please. In the track we have Lucas Defiette, start time 4.77 seconds. Lucas was tied for third after heat 1 with a 49.46 seconds. He'll need a 50.24 to overtake that top spot, and he's currently 100th ahead of that pace as he goes through snowy into 7. Top speed 81.3 miles an hour heading through the labyrinth. He's now a full 10th ahead of the pace going into 11. Nice line out of 11 into 12. He's extended that lead to now be 2/10 as he heads down through the shady thicket with a top speed 78 miles an hour. Up through Uinta, crossing the finish arch with a downtime of 49.64 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 39.10 seconds with 3 sliders remaining. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Jared Firestone. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Hirowatsu Takahashi from Japan, stand by please. In the track we got Jared Firestone sliding for Israel. Start time 4.79 seconds. And attention athlete, skeleton men athlete up at the start. If you are done with your run, can we have you please move your sleds out? We are moving the bobsleds in. We need to make room up at the Park for May for the bobsleds. In the track, Jared Firestone heading into curve 11. He had a top speed of 80.7 miles an hour. He's currently 4/10 behind the pace as he drops out of curve 13. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. He's now going to figure out how far is he going to drop in the standing as he crosses the finish line with a downtime of 50.43 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 39.89, dropping 6 spots to be in 7th place at this time. Track's now clear at skeleton start for Hirowatsu Takahashi. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Nicholas Timmings from Australia, stand by please. In the track we have Hirowatsu Takahashi sliding for Japan. We are down to our final 2 sliders. Hirowatsu Takahashi had a 49.44. He needs a 49.66 to maintain his position. He is dead even right now as he exits 11 going into, or exits Cutthroat into Snowy. He's now fallen behind. He's 600ths behind the pace heading through those labyrinth curves. Now 900ths. He's keep falling back as he now goes through curve 11 into 12. A little early into 12. Gets it under control going through 13. Now into slingshot 14. Full 2/10 behind the pace. So he goes right down the middle of the shady thicket up through Uinta, crossing that finish line with a downtime 50.12 seconds. Combined downtime 1 minute 39.56 seconds. Currently 2nd place in this time. And all docks and grates are for coaches and athletes only. I cannot have you guys sitting on that dock right there at the finish line. Track's now clear at the skeleton start for Nicholas Timmings. Sled and track from the skeleton start. Our final slider and our fastest slider from Heat 1 is Nicholas Timmings from Australia. He had a 49.38 in Heat 1. He'll need a 49.72 to maintain his spot. He had a start time of 4.77 seconds as he comes through Cutthroat into Snowy. He's currently 300ths ahead of the pace as he comes out of 7 with a top speed of 81.4 miles an hour, heading through those labyrinth curves. He's still 300ths ahead of the pace. No room for error as he now heads into the lower half of this track, coming out of 12 into 13, now 14. 200ths ahead of the pace coming through Slingshot. Will he keep this as he comes up through the finish line? He does. He does by 600ths. He overtakes that top spot. Downtime, 49.66 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.04 seconds. Your leader at this time. Your unofficial top 6 at this time. In 6th place, we have Jonathan Yah. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.77. In 5th place, from Brazil, we have Eduardo Strapason with a combined downtime, 139.72. In 4th place, from Canada, we have Joseph Brusik with a combined downtime of 139.70. In 3rd place, from Japan, we have Hiroatsu Takahashi with a combined downtime of 1 minute 39.56. In 2nd place, from France, we have Lucas Defiet. Combined downtime, 1 minute 39.10 seconds. And in 1st place, sliding for Australia, we have Nicholas Timmings with a combined downtime, 1 minute 39.04. All athletes at the start. We need to use the Parc Fermé for the bobsleds. All athletes at the start, you need to move your skeleton sleds so the bobsleds can get ready.